We are back. How about that?
Dang it, Eric. What are you doing out there in freaking BFE
Man,
screwing up our
Eric
signal?
is working for free for the next 6 months. He's on double probation. He actually ended our live stream.
Sorry, folks. Everybody get back in here.
Yeah, so if you're still out there, come on back. Good Lord. Oh, the night from hell. So we left off with Orlando at Columbus at Orlando, and I was saying that I felt like if you were an Orlando fan, that get ready for ground and pound, bend but don't break defense, and win it in the final 2 minutes. And that's when we finally that's when we got kicked off. So what do you think, KJ? I know Columbus is coming into town, and they got a lot of Michigan Panthers who made it to the championship game last year. What do you? How do you see this game going down?
This one I think will be exciting to watch from the standpoint of we've obviously have multiple first year coaches in the league. Ginn being the one on the Columbus end for this matchup. And the unique thing about this matchup that I view, while it's a minute difference, I think it's significant, is the fact that, Beck has got the home field advantage here. Ginn will be the only, I guess, newbie coach, aside from AJ, if you want to count him, that's going to be going on the road to face their opponent their first game of the season. So, compound the fact that you're a first-year coach with the fact you don't get to start the year off at home. Those things make a difference. And while I personally am very excited to see Jalen sling the ball for the Aviators, there's no doubt that, Beck is a seasoned spring ball coach. He'll have his squad ready to go, even, regardless of what his kind of schematic game plan looks like from a, ground versus air assault type strategy. I think Storm will come ready to play. There's a lot of guys on the Columbus roster that I would give the nod to in the matchup. But obviously, going on the road, not playing at home, I think will play a factor. It's really going to come down to your point. I think if Beck sticks to what his bread and butter typically is from a strategy standpoint, it's going to come down to, Columbus playing well defensively to answer everything that the Storm throw at them. And if they can do that, then they'll keep it a ball game. And I have no doubt that, Jalen can lead the offense and make magic happen on that side of the ball. It'll really be, I think, essentially a defensive battle on this game. This is probably one of the few that I could see us potentially, hitting the under on, aside from maybe the Birmingham-Louisville game, for what Vegas is picking the odds at right now. I know we'll get into that later, but yeah, I think Columbus, when we talk ground and pound, I don't think they have any concerns on their end because they've got Tua Taua, however you pronounce his last name, from the Panthers coming over to their squad, and he was a great running back for Michigan last season. So they, in my eyes, they have the dual threat set up with a great wide receiver core. They've got a respected running back who is a spring ball vet who has produced numbers, in past season. So I think that's all going to bode well for them. It's really going to come down to the coaching and the specifics of what type of schemes or play callings that Ginn and company come up with to throw at the Storm on the road. So,
yeah, and one thing that I've got all the respect for Coach Beck in the world for, and that's putting together rosters. 23, 24, and 25. 23 got left out of the playoffs by a tiebreaker. 24 and 25, he made the playoffs. They didn't end up turning out the way he wanted, but he always puts a quality roster together. So I got to think he's going to have his team ready to play. We will see, but I really hope that on prime time TV Sunday night that we see a great ball game.
I can imagine we'll probably see a lot of for those Battlehawks fans that might be watching this game, depending on, it may be a 50-50 split. I don't know. You know your fan base better than I do, Ed. Do you think you'll have a lot of lovers scorn cheering against Anthony on Sunday night, or will it be a majority of folks just hoping that he does well and cheering in his corner?
Probably that's a tough question. For the most part, I think the fan base liked Coach Beck. They were sad to see how the season's ended after there was so much promise there. I think down deep they really still like him as a coach, and I mean he was very endearing to the fan base for sure. But you're going to have that faction of fans that aren't going to be happy with the fact that he, by the looks of it, was more than willing to leave St. Louis to take over Orlando's team. But in his defense, he had an opportunity to basically get a team that was where he lived or close to where he lived. So it's hard to fault him for that. But something tells me that this game is probably going to be, I guess I would agree with you, KJ, in the fact that it's probably going to be lower scoring with that running clock. If you're able to run the ball, if you're successful at running the ball at all, you can really control the clock and limit possessions. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a lower scoring game. Michigan, Panthers, they were a tough team. And if they've got any kind of if they resemble at all the kind of team that they had last year, I think this game is going to be a little bit better than maybe what, we've been. I don't know. I don't want to say that Brett's power rankings were, I realize, why Columbus was ranked as low as they were from a coaching staff, inexperience standpoint. But I got to believe that in this league, every team is going to put quality players on the field. That's one thing that you've noticed in the last 3 years is there's just been an increase in talent every year that I got to think that you're going to see. You're going to see a good football game. So KJ, question is, are we going to have the guys back to do our picks?
I don't know. That's a good question. May have to have Eric chime in here via the chat with his picks for the games.
Should I send him a text and say the least you can do after kicking us off?
I sent Brett one to tell him to get his tail back in here, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know what Eric's internet connection is. That's probably part of the reason he was having audio issues with us when he was on. If he was smart, he would have sent you his picks beforehand just in case he couldn't hop on the stream. I don't know if you did or not. But
I think we got Brett back.
There we go.
Brett back.
Thank goodness.
Hey, Brett.
Well, that was interesting.
That was. You have any closing thoughts on the Orlando Columbus game before we go to our picks?
No, it's going to be a battle, physical battle. I think this is going to be a fun game for us old school guys to watch. It's going to be a war. I can't wait. The physicality, all this. It's going to be ice baths for all these fellas come Monday.
Oh boy, I'm going to give Eric a call when this show's over. But
oh goodness,
when he's not a part of the show, don't hit end stream when you're done. So let's go. Let me get the games up on here. we're going to do something a little different picking the games this year. We are going to pick using the Vegas odds. So if you're still out there, still watching the show, jump in the comment line with your predictions as we go along. And let's see. I had the first game up there. And I know why it's not showing. Give me one more second.
It popped up there for a second, I thought.
It did.
Have y'all seen, this is a side note question, but I noticed it in the news highlight clip that I had seen passed around on X for the Storm. Their mascot made a cameo appearance on the, I think, local news network or whatever that was announcing the team. But I have not seen any other mascots publicly shared. I know Birmingham has their horse guy, whatever his name is. I'm assuming Stanley. I'm sure he would make a return. But these newer teams and even Houston, you kind of have to lump in there. I haven't seen any direct reveals for their guys.
No, but the sun god or whatever he was, the weather god,
Whatever, yeah,
that was pretty cool.
All right, there we go. First game up. We got the Birmingham Stallions, 4.5-point favorites as they come in to Louisville for a Friday night 7:00 game to kick off the season. Brett, you want to go first with your official prediction? And remember, this year we're taking the points into account. So Birmingham is a 4.5-point favorite.
Well, I hope I'm not jinxing my guys, but give me Birmingham to cover. Birmingham by 7.
KJ?
I'm going to concur with Brett here, and honestly, I may throw in a little extra icing or cherry on top. I think Birmingham will exceed the Kings by over 1 possession. So over 7, whether that be a field goal of 3, of 4, your boosted extra point, whatever it is, they'll definitely cover the spread.
So I just told Eric to pick the game, so I have to tell him to chime in once he answers back. But
are we only picking the over under, Brett, or are we doing the I guess whatever it's
we're just doing the point spread. We're not doing the over under.
Yeah.
So Birmingham's 4.5-point favorites. I'm taking Birmingham as well, as is Eric. So it's a clean sweep for Birmingham to cover. Second game, you got the DC Defenders, 11 a.m. game in St. Louis against the St. Louis Battlehawks. Games on ESPN. The DC Defenders are 3.5-point favorites. KJ?
This one's tough. Call me biased, but I'm going to just assume that Audie West reigns supreme, and I'll pick DC to cover.
Brett?
Not only do I have the Battlehawks covering, I have them winning straight up.
You kind of took my thunder away a little bit, Brett, because I guess I'm kind of showing some of my homerism on this one, but I've talked to Coach Prohl twice now about the type of offense St. Louis is going to have, and with him talking about putting the ball in the air with AJ Smith as offensive coordinator, I think that they are going to be looking to put points on the board, and if they get the crowd involved, with Tamu, with his success in the Dome, we could see a real shootout. and could be a high-scoring affair. But I'm going to take St. Louis as well in the points. And Eric is taking DC.
He's going with the anti-gank.
Yep. So we got Eric and KJ with DC, and Brett and I are taking St. Louis, both to win outright. Next game, 3:00 game on Saturday afternoon. We got the Houston Gamblers at the Dallas Renegades. Dallas is 4.5-point favorites. I'll go with this one. I've kind of said all along that I've kind of been a little higher on Dallas than the rest of you guys. Kind of feel like Dallas has the opportunity to possibly be one of those borderline playoff teams. I've said that about Houston as well. So I think it's very important for these two teams to, start out 1-0. But, I think Coach Neuheisel brings a breath of fresh air into the organization. Maybe they got a little bit stale that maybe he's going to stir things up a bit. I'm going to take Dallas to cover the 4.5 points. How about you, Brett?
I think this is a coin flip game. So with that being said, rivalry ought to be a lot of fun. Give me the Gamblers and the points. Give me the 4.5 with Houston.
Okay. KJ.
On paper, I will concede that from a head coaching standpoint, Neuheisel, however you pronounce his name, has the advantage over someone. But really, when I just look at their entire stylistic staff, I think that Houston's going to come out swinging. I think Tyron Carrier is going to have our wide receiver group literally on fire and precision accuracy when it comes to route running. We're going to catch him off guard, and we're going to beat him on the ground because Casey Gundy is an OK State champ. And if anybody knows anything about Oklahoma State, they're a great running back school. So my pick is definitely for Houston to cover the spread and assert that the blue-collar folks down in H-Town are always and will always be better than the white-collar bougie folks in Dallas. So we'll leave it there.
So Eric is taking Dallas. So we have got Eric and I with Dallas. And
so basically it's the Midwestern Yankees versus the good old Southern boys.
Last game of the week, Sunday night prime time. You got the Columbus Aviators playing at Orlando Sunday night, 7 o'clock ESPN prime time. Who wants to go first on this one?
I'll go first on this one. I think this is the league's next big rivalry. Personality of Ginn and Beck. I think this is going to be a war. It's going to be a lot of fun for us. Like I said, us guys that like physicality, this can get a little chippy. All that being said, give me Orlando by a last-second field goal to not only win, of course, cover. Give me the Storm. A storm is brewing, baby, and just like in Houston, I'm all in.
I'll go next. I will. This is one of those games that, with a 1.5, Orlando's 1.5 point favorites. It could go either way. But what I've seen at Coach Beck, he's gonna keep it close, try and win it at the end. The 1.5 points really isn't going to come into play. I think Orlando pulls it out by a field goal. I'll take Orlando. KJ?
Oh, I may live to regret this one, but I just can't get over the roster differential. I know that Ginn is a new coach and going on the road, like I mentioned, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them. But I think Jalen and company is eager to prove themselves. I'm going to root for Columbus to get the upset here and cover this nail thickness of a spread. I can't believe we even have a 1.5 anywhere on this docket of games, but that's just me. I think that's comical.
So we've only got one game where it was a clean sweep for Birmingham. Otherwise,
Who did Eric take?
oh, excuse me, he took Columbus. So we've got 2-2 on every game except for the Birmingham game. So, and it isn't the same two of us that are agreeing. It seems like it's opposite. So that just goes to show you what week 1 has in store.
Yep. Who knows?
The real question is, will all the salt water in the air make Beck get a little rusty and turn up the vacay vibes, or will he stay on point and stay polished? So
Hell, he lives down there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You get comfortable when you're at home. Get a little lackadaisical, or take your foot off the gas. It'll make you'll pay for it in this league.
And we got any comments? Anybody make any picks?
We've got yeah. He's got John's taking Dallas. You got Marty taking Dallas by 7. You got Robert taking the Houston Gamblers. Then in the Orlando Columbus game, we got John David taking Columbus. Robert's Orlando, Marty's Orlando. That's pretty much it. It's too bad. Oh, we've got in the St. Louis game against DC, John David, St. Louis. Marty's got St. Louis by 3. Robert's got St. Louis by 14.
Yeah, he's got some big upset predictions for the St. Louis and Louisville games. We need to bookmark those. If he gets those right, he needs to get a shout out next week.
Yeah. So, it's a real. I apologize to everybody out there watching the show that we lost our original show right towards the end. So, both of our shows will be posted. I'm going to have to label one as episode 31 and episode 31A, I guess. And
A and B, maybe.
Yeah, just we'll try and do better this week. Eric won't make any money now till at least the second half of 26. So anyway, again, big thank you to everybody for allowing us to post on your pages. I sure appreciate it. If you have the opportunity, if you live close to any of these cities, let me put up there again the opening lineup for week 1. You got games in Louisville. You got games in St. Louis. You got games in Dallas and Orlando. So any of you fans that get the opportunity, if you can go to the games and see it in person, please do so. There's nothing like having your butt in the seats. But having said that, any parting shots, fellas? Doesn't sound like it.
No, we're ready. We're ready to wind this one up.
We're waiting for some L&W ammunition.
Okay. Everybody have a good rest of your week. And we will see you again next Wednesday. We'll talk to you later.
And that's the bottom line.
Can't even get the damn thing to end when it's the way it's supposed to.